up for our next storyteller, Joan Afton. Tallness, shortness. I'm scared of the microphone. Okay. Oops, I'm wrong. There we go. It's summer, 1999, so I'm 33 or so. I'm living in a 3-bedroom apartment in Chicago with a roving band of misfits. The one constant has been my friend. Let's call him Billy. Platonic pals who everyone expects we should just be with one another already. We, in fact, famously keep dating each other's friends against everyone's warnings instead. We are the anchors to this apartment where so much is constantly changing, and the third room tends to always have a new person every year. As a stage manager and stage carpenter, he's been working pretty constantly, often on the road, on tour, while I've been being a bartender and a proofreader mostly. We first met under a deadline to be packed and ready to move to a new housing situation a few miles down the road at a Renaissance fair in the Poconos. So, Billy. He's a pinch-hitting new replacement stage manager, joining many months after the rest of us. Chain smoker, nail biter, sports watcher from Cleveland. Not my type at all. And I, nervous, disorganized, Victorian novel reader, am not his. Which is fortunate, as I'm seeing someone from this fair, and he has a long-distance relationship back home. He comes to see what is up with me, surrounded by boxes and even hefty bags of things I'd been meaning to deal with for months on the floor all around me. He has the grace to neither laugh nor lecture, cuts me off mid-self-flagellate about my procrastination and lack of organization and so on, literally rolls up his sleeves and helps. Mine is the last of the 30-odd, and I mean odd, people's stuff to make it onto the van and off at last the movers go. The two of us go to the tavern-y thing down the road, eat fried chicken, and play pool. A friendship is born. Huzzah! A year on from this, several of us move back to Chicago, where, allegedly, the theater scene is thriving. We reconnect and assemble into various flop-house-ish arrangements all over town. The one of these which lasts the longest is Billy's and mine. One evening, I'm on the couch with a visiting puppy, reading, having another glass of wine, and a group of these stoner carpenter boys have gone to a wedding. They come back to our place full of critiques. It was nothing like either one of them. It was so stuffy and weird. I've had a fair amount of wine, but I am still not as loopy as Billy, who walks over to me, hand extended, and says, "Pinky swear." I extend a pinky. If either one of us ever gets married, we'll be each other's best man. I guess I should say here as well as any place, Billy remains not my type. He's pretty wake and bake, and I don't smoke at all. He's hung a 9-foot-long Indians Chief's Wahoo banner in our hallway, yet somehow he's always got some girlfriend and often some additional overlap as well. And I never really want or expect it to be me, but I'm often single and jealous in a way. How does he do it? Anyway, we pinky shake on it. And then he gets the offer too good to pass up, to move from Chicago to a permanent gig all the way in Charlotte, North Carolina. A full-time grown-up job at an opera company with like benefits and things. I'm still just bartending these days, so it's easy and I hope fun to be the one to volunteer to go on this road trip adventure with him and then fly home. He sells his car, packs up, rents a big-ass U-Haul. We have a big blowout party at which he hooks up again, against all advice, this time with his ex-girlfriend's best friend. I set the alarm for 5 a.m., knock on the door to wake them, various sniffly goodbyes with everyone, and off we go. The plan is to drive halfway-ish the first day and spend the night with his folks in Cleveland. I've conspired with them in advance. They want to have a surprise barbecue going with his family and his old friends when we get there around dinner time. Success! Mostly. Everyone is gathered. We are only a little late. He is surprised. But his oldest friend, who's lately not been in very close touch, never gets there, isn't answering his phone. In all the hubbub, it's a bit annoying, but it's easy to move on. We're going to see most of them again for brunch tomorrow, after all, so we turn in. I wake up in the morning, hungover and confused, in the guest room, a little unclear what's going on, time of day or anything. The house is dark and quiet. I pad into the living room. Billy is sitting, chain smoking, in jeans but no shirt, arms crossed over his head, in the half light, daytime but with all the curtains drawn and thick clouds of smoke. What on earth? The friend, a Marine, it turns out, has chosen last night to use a service gun and kill himself. Change of plan, of course. We take a break from the drive and stay to go to the funeral. Billy goes to help clean the apartment, drag the mattress out to the street, and so on. He kindly refuses my offers of help with the help. Superficial problem, but I've packed only a few days' worth of what you need to help someone move. In the summertime, old torn jeans, t-shirts, shorts, sneakers, a jog bra, and who knows where his dress clothes are in the Jenga of the U-Haul. So we trudge to the mall to each buy something to wear for the next several days of funeral-related activities. Some of the friends from that first evening pick us up, take us to the various things, the wake, the mass, the viewing, the burial. In the back seat of a friend's mom's minivan, his hand brushes against my knee, my new dress. I grab his nail-bitten hand. We, who have never been involved with one another, continue to hold hands the entire time. It is deeply, deeply weird and sad. On what we decide is our last night in Cleveland, he really can't postpone starting this new job any longer. We go to a bar with Billy's brothers and a few other friends, drink toasts to their friend. We take, in the only sensible decision of this whole run, a cab back to his parents' place. They are asleep. We go to the kitchen, have some preemptive aspirins and water. We laugh, finally. Standing there, we make out like mad teenagers. Like, I don't know, a soap opera maybe, or an after-school special or something. He brushes the hair from my forehead a little bit, says something like, "We'd regret this, wouldn't we?" Oh my God, yes! And we're laughing again. We say goodnight and go to our separate rooms. Though I'd immediately agreed, back in the kitchen, alone in the bedroom, as I go to sit on the edge of the bed, my knees actually give out. And I land instead on the rug. Busted. Not so suave after all, I guess. Tell no one I've mentioned this to no one before this night. Again, an early alarm, again, a long day of driving. We arrive and move his stuff into his new place, meet his new roommates. We briefly, gingerly discuss it, that final night. No big. It's for the best, feelings running high and all that. Yep. He goes to sleep on his new couch, and I alone in his new room. It is the end of that era in so many ways. About 6 years further on, he calls me late one evening, literally asks if I'm up, because he's calling in his marker. He's getting married, and I am to be his best man. Oh, pardon me? For the bride? That would be tacky. And yet also not the best woman either, as clearly the best woman is the bride. But rather, as the Knot.com says, the groom's honor attendant. I, of course, say yes. And it is a debacle. That marriage lasts less than 3 years. He's long since with someone else, someone much more suitable, big sports fan in her own right. We're all good friends now, though very long distance. Me? I've been with someone else's, but never married yet, anyway. And I'm currently seeing only my cat. She, charmingly, also likes to hold pause from time to time. With one thing and another, she is now far and away my longest relationship. She recently turned 18. So I guess I've learned more than I realized. You know what? Now that we're talking about it, I owe Billy a call. It's been a while, and he'll want to know how all this went. It's 3 hours later there. I wonder if he's up.